Picture this. You're 16. You're down on your knees on the cold concrete of a driveway in a suburb outside Cincinnati, Ohio. Evening wind off the river carries the smell of wet leaves and gasoline. You're draining the old oil out of your mom's Chevy Cruze. Your whole mission is to not hand over $95 that Fast Pit Lube would normally charge for a regular oil and filter job. 20 years later, some guy walks into your own 4-bay auto shop in a Columbus suburb and writes you a check for $549,900. Between those two moments is a whole life. A life where certified techs make 20% more than everyone else, but more than half the mechanics end up sinking 60 grand or more into tools. Without that gear, you're nobody. This is the story of every single person who ever became an auto mechanic in America. The real pain, the real rush, and the real climb. Step 1, the driveway. You're 16. The car's up on 2 cheap jack stands your dad bought for $39 at Budget Tool Warehouse. The drain plug is seized solid, probably hasn't been touched in 10 years. You're trying to break it loose with a regular wrench, pushing with everything you've got, and you strip the hell out of it. Oil drips down your knee, your hands slip, and you're quietly cursing through your teeth. Anger, cold fingers, shame in front of your dad. You wipe your hands on your old jeans and head inside. Mom's watching from the kitchen window, shaking her head. You fire up YouTube, find Ryan Clark's channel. This calm dude who shows you how to get a broken bolt out without losing your mind. 40 minutes of fighting under the car. Oil-soaked rags, flashlight in your teeth, wrists screaming. But the plug finally gives. 5 quarts of synthetic and a new filter cost you $45 at Value Mart. Fast Pit Lube would have charged you almost $100 for the same job. You stand there, staring at your black hands, and for the first time, you get it. You didn't just save money, they paid you to learn. And damn, that felt good. Next weekend, you're already into the brakes. Pads, rotors, calipers. Shop price would have been $300. Your parts came to exactly $80. Hands cut up, nails black, back aching. But every nut is torqued exactly to spec the way Ryan Clark taught you. Dad comes out that evening, walks around the car, kicks the tire, and says with a grin, "Damn, son, you did good. I couldn't have done that." Those words warm you more than a hot shower after work. Then you sign up for auto mechanic classes at the local community college in Cincinnati. Now you're one of 50,000 kids across the country learning the ASE program. The instructor, an old Lakeview Motors guy with a twisted hand from an old injury, looks at the class and says, "Boys, this is a golden trade. You'll always make money and you'll never be out of work." He doesn't mention that the average salary in the industry is $49,670 a year, and he sure as hell doesn't say the bottom 10% only pull in $33,000. But you're 16, numbers like that don't mean shit. You just want to turn wrenches on real cars. Step 2, the pit. 18 years old, you land a job at Speedy Pit Service on the edge of Dayton for $14.90 an hour. Main thing is money for gas and a little spending cash. Your spot is a concrete trench under the cars, smelling like used oil, rubber, and exhaust. You're doing oil changes, filters, vacuuming interiors, rotating tires. 15 minutes per car on the boss's timer. 8 to 15 cars a shift. Customer pays $95. You get $14.90. You start doing the math in your head and something inside you clicks. On the wall, there's a beat-up sign. Sell the upsells. You learn how to hold up a dirty cabin filter and say, "Look, here's the moment of truth." When you upsell 3 extra services on your second week, the regional manager buys the whole crew pizza. You sit there chewing pepperoni and think, maybe I'm actually good at this. Then you find the stats. Average pay in quick-lube shops is $35,310. Your buddy Ethan, who's already been in this pit 4 years, looks like a squeezed-out lemon. He slaps your shoulder and says, "Bro, you won't learn anything serious here. Just oil and filters. Dead end after that." And he's right. One day you accidentally scratched the drain plug on a 2015 Kia Optima. They deduct the repair from your check, shoulders burning, back screaming. But you print out the story of a guy from Oak Ridge Toyota who went from trainee to full mechanic in 6 months and tape it to your locker. After every shift, you start studying for the ASEA 5 exam right on your phone. Step 3. B-level tech. 20 years old. Lakeview Motors hires you because you've got your A4 and A5 certs. Each test cost you $62 plus tax. Now you're on flat rate pay. Boss Rick announces, $10 per book hour. First 3 months you get a minimum. After that it's whatever you earn. First week is pure fire. 50 book hours in 40 real ones. Brakes, alignments, batteries, you're flying. First real paycheck, $1,500. You snap a picture and text it to mom. She replies, I always knew you'd make it. Then the work dries up. Next week, 22 hours, then 18. Rick, who's never turned a wrench in his life, gives a skampai-wick. Yoik Izerov gives the fat jobs to his nephew. You get the warranty crap and comebacks, fixing other people's mistakes for free. You learn what real unfairness feels like on your own skin. 60% of mechanics think about quitting in moments like that. And yeah, you're sitting in the locker room thinking, maybe this was all for nothing? Then a ProForge Tools van pulls up. Salesman Dan Harper offers you a professional box for $11,675. Down payment almost $3,000, then $53 a week for 5 more years. You sign the papers with shaking hands, because without good tools, you're nobody again. That night you sit on the new box in an empty bay, look at your hands, and remember the old mechanic on the forum who wrote, building a proper set for $80,000 without credit is almost impossible. And you think about those 57% of guys who've already sunk more than $60,000. Step 4. A-level tech. 27 years old. You've passed all 8 exams. You've got the badge on your chest. Now they give you the toughest diagnostics. A 2019 Ford Edge with the turbo comes in, random misfires. You spend 2 full days on it. Injectors, computer, timing cover, finally dropping the engine. Book time is 8.5 hours. You actually worked 24. Customer pays $95 an hour. Factory only reimburses the dealer $68. You basically gifted the difference to the company. You realize the service advisor, who can't tell a Camphaser from a coffee maker, decides how much you make today. At night, you study diagnostic networks, buy a ProForge Triton scanner for $6,000, and the yearly software subscriptions. Now your tools cost more than daycare for the kids you don't even have yet. Step 5. Top diagnostic tech. 34. You finally pass the hardest L1 exam and get the Advanced Driver Assist System certification. They bring in a BMW X3 that's already had the starter, pump, and control module swapped everywhere else. At 7 in the morning, you hook up the oscilloscope and find a rubbed wire that costs $2 and loses connection for 90 milliseconds when the wheel turns. 8 hours of hunting, 1 hour of paid diag. You're the only one who could solve it. At the National Auto Tech Summit, Alex Reynolds from German Tech Solutions walks up and tells you straight to your face, man, working with your hands will never pay you what you're actually worth. Step 6. The owner, 41 years old. You buy an independent 4-bay shop in a Columbus suburb for $900,000. $200 down in cash, the rest bank loan. First day on the job, you just adjust the thermostat in the office. That's it. You never pick up a wrench again. Now you count margin, not book hours. Average ticket is $149. 1 bay brings in $203,000 a year. Your shop hits $800,000 in revenue. At 56, a 34-year-old guy named Derek walks in. Solid mechanic. His wife will handle the books. He puts down the same $200,000 you once did. You shake hands in the office where the old coffee machine still acts up. You take one last walk through the bays. Same lifts, same old oil stain on the floor from the day you bought the place. In the corner sits your first ProForge box, paid off 28 years ago. In Bay 3. A 19-year-old kid is working his first month, $14.90 an hour. He's draining oil from an old Chevy Cruze and doesn't even look up. He has no idea the guy walking out of the building right now started exactly the same way. On his knees on a driveway with a stripped plug and Ryan Clark's video playing on his phone. Tuesday, the $549,900 hits your account, plus the house, plus the car, plus the old back injury that aches every time the weather changes. You drive home, mortgage paid off, garage empty. You don't own a single wrench anymore. And the kid in Bay 3 wipes his hands on a rag and walks over to the next car.